This man is in his element. There is absolutely no one more in his element in
Back
all
in
of
front of a
official
microphone.
Washington, D.C. than Sebastian Gorka. Dr. G, good to see you, brother.
Wonderful to see you again. How'd you like your new studio?
This is pretty
Is it
gorgeous.
good?
Now, is this where you work, the Eisenhower Executive Office building?
So this is the dirty little secret. Basically, the president and the vice president work in the West Wing.
Okay.
The West Wing is not like the TV shows. I gave a tour to one of my friends last week. The whole tour is 90 seconds. I mean, it's a little annex that was temporarily attached to the White House that they never broke down. You've got the president's Oval Office, the vice president, the chief of staff, and the comms room, and that's about it. And there are hundreds of people who work for the president in the White House. They're here. The National Security Council, here. This is the Eisenhower Executive Office building. National Economics Council. I mean, because you just can't fit them in the White House.
I was telling our producer who's on site with us that I didn't know that the first time I visited. I had, like you said, the West Wing in my mind.
Yeah, and this stupid TV show where the president is walking around the West Wing for 40 minutes. Not in Americans' White House, no.
The last time you and I talked, there were still some confirmations out there lingering.
Yeah.
A lot of them have been cemented since.
Right.
You guys got to be pleased.
Oh my gosh, it's beyond our wildest expectations. But look, somebody made this very sagacious comment. Depending on whether it's the House or the Senate, there's up to 30-40% of the people on Capitol Hill who weren't in Congress when President Trump was president, and they did not understand the power of that phone call from the Oval Office.
Yes.
So this is where you realize the art of the deal, the power of the president. Not only that, he's gone from the record-breaking 74 million for an incumbent president to 77 million. So you want to hold that guy up when 77 million people voted for him and want him to have his team? Only pathetic, individuals who, as Carolyn Levitt said last week, you should be in old people's home like Mitch McConnell. They're the only problems.
Hannity did a conversation with Trump and Elon.
Yes.
You've met Elon. I've seen some photos on your social media, you and Elon.
Yeah.
As Hannity pointed out correctly, the media would love nothing more than to drive a wedge between the two of them. They're not buying it this time.
No,
and Trump carries himself differently now, too. He's not taking the bait on any of that, if he ever did, but he's certainly not now. He loves what Elon's doing.
Oh, totally. I mean, think about it. I am so jealous, and I actually reached out to the Doge team last week, and I was helping them with something, and I said, guys, I know you're busy. God bless you, AID, love it. God bless you, what you're doing now. But please, can I borrow a few of your guys for the CT empire I've inherited? Because there's a little bit of duplication. So, yeah, I mean, this is so necessary, so necessary.
Can we talk about that for a minute? And
Yeah,
you don't have to give me specifics.
totally.
But you say you inherit it. You see it. I mean, just so people, I think we all instinctively understand there's bloat in government.
Yeah.
But now you're in a department. Right. You see it.
Oh, absolutely.
You see the duplication.
Absolutely. Look, I just don't want to have 12 different places in government do the same job.
Yeah.
Because not only are you being a completely irresponsible person with the government's taxpayer funds that come from the voter, also it's just a recipe for groupthink. And I've said this again and again. I mean, I host a weekly all-government counterterrorism threat meeting, and I just recalibrated the azimuth. I said, guys, there's only one question that matters, and it's the 9/11 question. Are we doing what is required to prevent a mass casualty event on U.S. soil? I don't care about anything else. I don't care about rice bowls, titles. I want to know, are Americans safe? And if you're not thinking about that in my world, in the intelligence community, counterterrorism, then you're not doing your job.
Rumsfeld once called that our failure of imagination,
Yes.
9/11. Is that what you have to do as part of your job, constantly imagining what could be?
Oh, utterly. I mean, it's officially called red teaming or red selling. So you're thinking like the enemy. And let's just give you one of the biggest priorities I have right now is if you pretend you're Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Hezbollah, Hamas, Al-Nusra, what would you have done in the last 4 years if you knew the southern border was open? Are you really telling me that your ideology says kill Jews, kill Christians, America is the great Satan, and you know that basically anyone could have cleared themselves through the CBP One app under Mayorkas and allowed themselves into the country as a quote-unquote asylum seeker? One of my number one priorities is to map how many bad actors exploited Kamala's open borders, and then all we have to do is tell Tom Homan.
That guy's not messing around either.
Oh my gosh.
Not to be too dark, but
And Elon, can I just say,
Yeah, please.
after that photograph with Elon,
So good, yes.
he asked me a question about counterterrorism, and I gave him my response, and I said, but it's okay because we've got Tom Homan. And he said, Tom, I love that guy, straight out of Central Casting. So everybody loves Tom.
he is. He's the best. And
Yeah.
just, I mean, the media hits with that guy alone are worth the money. I don't want to get too dark about it, but I've asked you before what you think is the greatest threat to the country. Has your position on that changed since you've been outside, now that you're back in? Are there things you see that threaten the country that would kind of keep us up at night, or that keep you up at night? It's a tough question, I know, because you can't give too much.
Yeah, nothing's changed in terms of the big picture, open border. One thing I have access to now, and I'm actually going right now in 9 minutes to get my update briefing, is what certain nations want to do to harm very famous people in America.
Wow.
So that's something, when you read very concrete intercepts about, we want to do something to this famous person, that's something that's new to me because I wasn't reading those intelligence products.
You've never worked harder. You're putting in longer days than ever before, and you look more energized than I've ever seen you.
Well, look, I've only been waiting 24 years for this job. And it's like, where do I go from here? I mean, I'm running counterterrorism for the most consequential president of the modern age. I mean, I have to take up poetry next or something. I don't know.
And your wife's in sunny Hawaii.
Yeah, I know. Well, somebody's got to work, right?
It is so good to see you, Seb.
Likewise.
Thanks for stopping by.
God bless.
A real honor.
God bless.
Love you, brother.
Thank you, guys.